It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America, we are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Good morning. All right. Our Senator John Kennedy audio cut of the week. We haven't played one.
All right, yeah.
Always got to have one, and he's been speaking quite a lot this week. We just haven't got an opportunity to play anything from him. Here he is talking about Mamdani and Jim Snow 2.0 about the whole thing of being having to present two forms of ID to shovel snow in New York City. By the way, that probably hit home with more people than anything that the Democrats could say. I mean, of course, the Democrats said stupid stuff. We started the show by saying this was really an interesting week because you from Gavin Newsom and Bernie Sanders, basically what they came out and said, we're idiots. We're idiots, and we know you're idiots, too. Gavin Newsom did it a couple of times. You're an idiot. I have, basically, I'm dyslexic, and so I can't read, but you can't read because you're just stupid, so you can't get an ID because I don't know where my ID is either.
Right.
And it's just it's amazing that they've all got to this point that in order to win an election, they believe they've got to convince the American public that they're idiots, just like the American public is a bunch of idiots that don't know how to find their birth certificate.
Yeah.
So, but I think that was huge. But I think really Mamdani, because it's about stuff that people deal with. Snow, got to shovel snow. But wait a minute, you need all this. And remember, it just wasn't two forms of ID. It was two forms of ID. It was your Social Security card.
I think it was a total of 5 documents.
Yeah,
right?
because they wanted you to have 2 separate pictures of yourself.
Right.
Plus 2 copies.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah.
And then 2 forms of identification.
Yeah.
I might not have been able to fulfill that. And so really that went viral because of the jokes. And one of the things that you have to watch out in politics is if something becomes viral because it's hilarious. Because it's so clearly aware, it's self-evident that their position on voting is insane when they're telling you need Social Security card, 2 forms of ID, 2 pictures, in order to shovel snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when, you had the Babylon Bee and then you had just regular people and it went viral, married women won't be able to shovel snow in New York City. Mm-hmm. Blacks are disappointed because they won't be able to shovel snow in New York City. I mean, that kind of stuff just goes viral. And the worst thing, and this is the problem Mamdani has right now, he's just a couple of, a month? Almost 2 months.
Yeah.
Almost 2 months into office, and all he gets is mocked constantly.
Yeah, right.
The next thing is, the snowball incident.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just kids throwing snowballs. It wasn't a kid.
Right.
And so, I mean, all this stuff, has he had a good moment? You know what those best moments have been?
In the Oval Office.
Visiting Trump.
Yeah.
And the buddy with Trump.
Yeah. It's the only reason a radical like him would do that. I don't know. Somebody on his staff, or he, or all the above, believe, look, we need to soften the blows on the other stuff here. How do we do that? Because I would think if you're on the far left, the last thing you want to do is go and shake hands with Trump. But he did it right away.
But as we know, you can be the hero one day and the oppressor the next day.
Oh, yeah.
And if Democrats have the mentality, we're not going to stand and cheer America.
Right.
Well, then going to the Oval Office is eventually going to backfire for Mamdani, too. But here's let's get to Senator Kennedy here. Here we go.
Okay. All right.
On the shoveling.
All right.
Well, I don't know the mayor. He seems like a nice enough guy, but he must think there's an award for being stupid. I mean, the American people look at this stuff, and they're aghast. You're going to require somebody to show not one form, but two forms of ID in order to shovel snow, but not to vote. I mean, it's a silly dispute. Everybody has ID. Everybody could get ID. I can tell you the way my people back in Louisiana feel about it. They feel about it they tell me, if you can't figure out how to get an ID, you probably shouldn't be voting.
But to give another example about how you go from being the victim or the hero of the victims to an oppressor, the insane podcaster Jennifer Welch. You ever see her? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I hope I want her to have more prominence inside the Democratic Party. She is bat soup crazy.
Yeah,
but she's mainstream in Democrat circles. I've had it. Podcast host Jennifer Welch accused Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom of committing political suicide Wednesday after he called on the Democratic Party to become more culturally normal to win elections. Welch reacted to Newsom's interview with CNN on Monday, during which he called on Democrats to be more focused on affordability rather than the niche cultural issues. From a tactical standpoint, from a prism of pure politics, there's no doubt that the Democratic Party needs to be, dare I say, more culturally normal. I believe that less prone to spending a disproportionate amount of time on pronouns, identity, politics, more focused on tabletop issues, things that really matter. What you're saying, Governor Newsom, Welch said, you are ceding ground to the narratives that Republicans try to define free people that mind their own business and stand up for everything. You're allowing their BS narratives to define Americans. It's utterly disgraceful. You notice she doesn't get into specifics.
right.
Because she's talking about, the freedom of Americans. Mm-hmm. And it's not the freedom of Americans. It's them pushing what they want down our throat and wanting to mutilate children.
Right.
We don't care. Do what you want. Do what you want, for gosh sakes. Hey, in the late 70s, I'm old enough. I went to all the different punk clubs. You'd walk around going, that's interesting. That's interesting over there, too. Wow. I mean, for people to sit there and go, well, this is all new now. No. It was going on. It was going on back then.
That guy over there, according to the spikes on his head, must drive a convertible.
Yeah. Nobody. It's like, it was like, you're all adults. Do what you want.
Mm-hmm. If you're an adult.
No, nobody. I don't know. Do you know any Republican that's saying that if you are an adult and wish to take hormones, that you shouldn't be able to take it?
No. Nope.
That if you wish to have, if you wish to mutilate your own body, that you shouldn't be able to do it. That's the major topic. No, Welch has to say that because she knows that that's not what it's about. But Newsom himself, see, we can criticize both of the insanity sides. Newsom says it, but then ask him precisely about his views on the radical transgender movement, and he won't give you an answer.
Right.
So he believes in all of it. He just knows it's politically damaging, and Newsom wants to get back to the old times, as we like to say it, going back a few years ago, where Democrats used to pretend that they were moderate when they were not. They want to go back to the old Obama. Oh, I'm struggling here with gay marriage.
He was grappling.
I'm grappling. I'm pondering.
And
no,
then
you're not.
And then he was evolving.
No, he wasn't. He was lying to the American public because he knew he couldn't get elected if he told them the truth. And the same thing here. That's all that's going on. None of this is new. Nothing is new in politics. They're just repeating the same old thing.
It's the difference between what they believe you can say out loud and what you can't.
Right. That's all Newsom's doing.
We played Cenk Uygur yesterday.
Yeah.
Basically saying, yeah, the Democrats are crazy. And what I heard was, look, I might agree with you on these issues. Quit saying it out loud.
Yeah.
You make us sound crazy when you say it out loud. And that goes back to the Obama thing. You wait until after you're elected. And then you tell the media you're grappling. All the media just carried that water. Oh, they told us he's grappling. He's grappling.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Give me a break, man.
He was lying.
Grappling.
And so there's where you see, Newsom, the reason he does, because they viewed Newsom. Remember, and this goes back to before he had the debate with DeSantis where he got smoked. It was like, he's our guy. He's going to be our guy. He's going to be our guy. And the problem is the Democratic Party is way past, look, I'm with you, but we can't say it.
Right.
No, you got to say it.
You have to.
You got to say it. You
Yep.
can't sit there and say, well, we're we all wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We all know we believe in this insanity, but yeah, you got to understand. People that don't hold this position think that your position is absolutely bat soup crazy.
Yep.
So we want to do this. We all are crazy, but we can't let them know that we're crazy.
Right. Quit saying it out loud.
Right.
Well, and because it works, again, on two fronts. We get to pretend that we're moderates. And that helps us get elected, so we get the power. And then you get your agenda done slowly. You guys are boiling the frog by throwing it in boiling water. You can't do that. This is the problem. But it was always going to reach this point. Because as we said long ago, own it. Own it. Well, yeah, but the problem politically with owning it is then you start looking crazy when you own where you actually stand on the issues.
Yeah,
because it's insane.
They become the one flew over the cuckoo's nest party is what they are.
Yep.
But we can't let them know that we're one flew over the cuckoo's nest party.
Right.
But that's where they are.
It's where they are.
And if you're not willing to admit that we are and that you are the one flew over the cuckoo's nest part of that party because you wish to be cuckoo all the time and you will promote cuckoo ideas constantly, then you're an oppressor. And then these Democrats that created this and now realize it's wrong, that's tried to back off, that created all the cuckoos, that they could sell the cuckoos and they can't sell the cuckoos, are now saying we need to pretend we're not cuckoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now I could have a Cocoa Puff.
That sounds pretty good.
I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. Followed inevitably by chocolate milk.
Oh, did you see that? Oh, my gosh. Oh, the audio this week. You just reminded me of the audio. I forgot it was some Democrat representative talking about the fact that whole white milk is racist.
Oh.
But again,
yeah, I think
cuckoo.
we've heard that before.
Cuckoo, yes.
Yeah, I think somebody had tried to make that point at some point. Yeah. But you mentioned
cuckoo.
One
Yes.
flew over the cuckoo's nest, and I'm thinking of Nicholson because I was thinking of Bill Clinton and on the Epstein things. And his testimony is today, videotaped and transcribed. Hillary was yesterday. And I'm thinking, is he going to have a Colonel Jessup moment where he just looks in the camera, you're damn right I ordered the code red. It's like, dude, there's a lot of pictures. Now, there are no pictures of Hillary in a hot tub for other reasons. Yeah. But, dude, you're in a hot tub.
You know, we mentioned Boebert yesterday, and then I said, where's she been? Boom, the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
She was part of two different stories.
Right, yeah.
One where she released the unauthorized photo of Hillary in there.
Mm. Yeah.
It's like, well, I thought you wanted it to be public, Hillary. If it's like,
Right. You want transparency, right? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see where it goes with
Does
Bill.
it ever wear on her? Because this is all because of Bill.
It's all Bill.
It's all Bill.
Yeah. Yeah. This is all Bill's behavior.
Her entire life has been defending somebody who's been an absolute scumbag in their marriage.
Well, and I was waiting for maybe Senator John Kennedy or somebody to point out after yesterday, because she kept saying, look, we need to do this, and I've done nothing wrong. I could hear John Kennedy saying, Senator Kennedy, well, nobody's accusing you of having sex with anybody. That would be, what they're pointing out, because Comer actually did say it, not in as many words. He was saying nobody's accusing the Clintons of any wrongdoing, any illegal activity. We just want to learn more about the whole Epstein thing, and we have questions, which is different than what Comer was saying, I don't know, almost a month ago. But nonetheless, it's where they are, and they're testifying from their house in Chappaqua. Videotaped testimony, transcribed, and the whole thing. So the Epstein thing's not going to go anywhere.
No.
It's just not going to go anywhere.
No. I mean, it's so inside Washington now.
Yeah.
They're the ones that CNN, everybody's arguing it left and right. I'm like, the public is isn't even, it doesn't even register with the public.
No, it doesn't.
We are Red Eye Radio.
Brought to you by FPPF, Fuel Power Max.
Owner-operators with authority generally have two options when it comes to sourcing freight. Brokers on the spot market or directly from the source, the shipper. As any trucker with relatively recent experience with spot freight knows, the highs of working the load boards can be really high. On the other side of that coin, however, when the market flips in favor of shippers, it can be tough to keep your business afloat working with brokers. The smallest carriers with direct customers, however, can hang on through tough times or even prosper, as long as demand for their customers' product remains at least somewhat stable. Owner-operators in it for the long haul make direct business with customers a principal goal. Owner-Operator Business 101 is provided by Overdrive's Partners in Business program. Go to overdriveonline.com to the Partners in Business section of the website for more detail on this and many other topics.
Brought to you by Shell Rotella. With advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
We'll be right back with more Red Eye Radio with Eric Harley and Gary McNamara.
We are Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Speaking of Gavin Newsom, I saw this. This was from a local Georgia show called The Georgia Gang, local political show, and on Gavin Newsom. And this is the thing that all kills Gavin Newsom, because you don't really have to go through and explain stuff. It's just simple. Here we go. Now, this is one of their local people. Here we go.
My loser is Gavin Newsom coming to Atlanta for Keisha Lance Bottoms. I mean, who would want to go and tell Georgians we're going to bring California values and California policies to Georgia when you're running for governor? What terrible messaging. But thank you, Gavin Newsom, for coming and leaving that terrible messaging behind in your wake.
And that's the problem.
Yep.
That's why that's why when he tries to do what he's doing now, well, I'm a moderate. Well, you saw when he was on Bill Maher, he couldn't answer the question of what a woman is.
Right.
He couldn't answer the question of the radical. But then Bill Maher plays the same game with that. There are some things in the movement that are what things specifically he won't say.
Yeah. I'm in the middle. No, you're not.
It's almost as if, okay, this is stupid, but it does have some merit. What parts of it have merit?
Yeah.
They won't say it.
No, they won't.
They're afraid, and you cannot ride the tightrope on that issue with the left.
Navigating the Bizarrosphere. Every night, Eric Harley and Gary McNamara. Red Eye Radio.
And he is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. In this time of confusion, I don't know why I started out that way, but we had talked about this yesterday when we had played a Stephen A. Smith audio cut. We're going to play another one coming up, and it's what we did in the first term. If you want to know, if you're trying to understand, where the direction of the country is going politically, we know that we live in a tribal country. We know there are people that will absolutely, no matter what, support Republicans, no matter what, and there are people that will support Democrats no matter what they do. But there are people in the middle, and the people in the middle are the ones that change it.
Yeah.
Now, that actually win elections. And so one of the things that we looked at in the first term of Trump, and then even when Biden was president, was the number of Democrats that no longer became Democrats. And you're talking about, these are people really in the media.
Yeah.
And we looked at, during the Biden administration, we looked at the Barry Weisses, the Michael Schellenbergers, the Matt Taibbi's, all part of the Twitter files. And what they saw scared them. Because they saw what I think probably they have referred to as a government within a government.
Yeah.
Going on during
basically the FBI had all but officially set up shop over at Twitter.
And I think that scared them, and so they are some of the strongest advocates of where the Democratic Party is going. Jonathan Turley is another one that came out. Based on, and he's an issue guy. Everything he talks about is an issue.
Yeah,
and he'll bring it up as a constitutional issue. But Turley still today, and those others still are indicative of where the Democrats have gone. We have played a lot of Stephen A. Smith, and I've disagreed with Stephen A. Smith. Some of the sports stuff, it's like, the screaming. I'm like, come on, stop it. He's really the one where I got to with the predictions years ago, where I went, I couldn't do sports. The predictions are so stupid for every game.
Yeah.
Nobody has any idea. That's why you play the damn game. But the score is going to be 27-24. No, it's going to be 27-23. No, it's going to be 19-17. How can you say it's going to be 19-17? It's like, you have no idea. Shut up.
Yeah, I can see why you find that annoying. Yeah, it's horribly annoying. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But
not when you do it.
He is some exactly not when I do it. It's sweet and mellow. But really, when I look at it, he really, and there may be more down the road, but he really stands out as somebody who's just disgusted with the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And I saw another audio cut this week. This isn't the one we're going to play, but where he was saying, he said, well, no, when I say I'm a Democrat from like Clinton years or before, 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're going back a long way.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the question I would ask him, I go, oh, so you're like Clinton? You're a populist, whatever. And we all know populism is replacing a lot of conservatives. Hasn't replaced Democrats yet, but it has replaced a lot of the Republican Party is more populist than it is conservative.
Right.
We've talked about this many times. But the fact is, he's moving from where he was. Excuse me. He's recognizing the movement of the Democratic Party. His claim is he hasn't moved that much.
Okay.
That the Democratic Party has. Now, we talked about the fact of whether, if he ran for president, whether he would have a chance in the Democratic primary, and I don't think he would. If you ran as a Democrat, you cannot.
In the primary, you're out because
you're out.
He's not radical enough.
Exactly. So, but he is an indication of where Democrats and or independents might be going. And before I play the audio cut, the other thing that I found interesting, and this is why you look, elections are wild cards, because things have changed so drastically in the media. You look at Fox News is bragging like crazy, as they should. Numbers that they have. Now, in my opinion, Fox News has gone from more conservative to more conservative populist.
Yeah.
They have.
I would agree on that.
They have moved, where they are. And there's a great number of people, that are populist that are out there. Trump is a populist in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
He's not. He was never a, right-wing conservative.
Right.
But it is attractive to many people out there. And I think Stephen A. Smith is one of those. But it does show you when you see Fox News and the numbers that they have. And normally we saw, like in the first Trump term, Fox News' numbers tanked.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
And CNN, MSNBC, way up.
Right.
It's not happening now.
No.
CNN's numbers are as low as you can get. MSNBC, they may have their still loyal base left, but it's not the numbers that they used to have at all. We've talked about what CBS is attempting to do, and they're having problems. But I saw Fox News trying to compare their prime time to CBS's prime time. You really can't do that because except for the news on it, they're an entertainment, and you're a news network. You're
right.
really not. I know they say you're competing for the same audience, but you're not.
Right.
And I say that because it's like, well, no, we're in this business. We compete with everybody. Not necessarily. If somebody wants to watch Matlock, they might turn us on to listen to Eric. Listen to another old guy.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
right.
it's just one is an entertainment network, the other is news. But when you look at the actual news, you can look at it and say, okay, are you able to change the news? And we think there's an uphill battle for Barry Weiss because who are you going after? Who's your audience? Who is your audience? The left is going to leave you. Left's not going to be there. But when you look at CNN, the left has the left has left. Democrats have left watching that. When you look at who was it? Was it the Washington Post? Yeah, they don't know where to go. They don't know where to go, but they don't believe that the liberal audience is there for them anymore.
Well,
and so you look at it. It's things
because the liberal audience is becoming more liberal, and if you're not, to the point of the young people in New York Times, if you're not going bat soup crazy with them or leading the way in becoming more and more radical, they have no use for you.
The Democratic Party has become the Talib Omar party.
Yes.
That's what they become.
Right.
They've become the party that Trump has said is crazy.
Right.
And so you look at it, and it's not enough. You see Gavin Newsom getting attacked. Well, we need to be more culturally normal. Mm-hmm. Normal? You're saying then we're abnormal.
Yeah.
And the far left is furious with him, even though he shares all their views, but realizes, we're going to have a tough road winning in the future. Look, Democrats, because of prices, who knows? They could do great in November. The long-term prospects are not there for them. Number one, we've learned the things that they believe when it comes to the economy and business don't work.
Yeah.
And we know on so many of the cultural issues, they're insane. The things, they cannot make an argument anymore. So, yeah, prices may give them an edge in this midterm. It could. I don't know. But there are a lot of other factors that I can't figure out. I don't think anybody can figure out where the public is going based on a lot of things out there, like who's watching Fox, who's watching CNN, who's watching MSNBC, because what happened in Trump's first term is not happening now.
Right.
And so where are they going? Who are their leaders? That was CNN brought that up. Who's the leader of the Democratic Party right now?
Well, look at the 28 polls, right? The polls for 2028 right now. Nobody is in the mid-40s or even close.
Yeah.
Who's leading the party? Who's leading the Republican Party? Donald Trump. When you're president, you should be leading your own party. Biden, he was officially the leader of his party while he was president, but yeah. There was no leadership then, though. Think about that. There was no real leadership then. Everybody wanted to be the captain of the ship. Everybody thought, like AOC says, I'm the boss now. Well, no, it doesn't work that way politically. Because if you're the boss, then you've got your little following, and then everybody else has their little following. Well, how do you bring a group together? How do you bring a big enough group to win? And they may win the House in November. And I'm going to point to the Republican Party, as we have done many times over the years, for not communicating effectively on a number of issues. And with or without pricing, they've always had a problem campaigning. That's
when they're winning on the issue.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Let's play Stephen A. Smith though as he analyzes the Democratic Party. Here we go.
This is where I get pissed off because I'm not rooting against the Democrats. I'm rooting for them. I like balance in our politics. I don't want one party rule. I don't want the Democrats or the Republicans dominating the White House, the Senate, and the House. I want you to have to negotiate. I want you to have to work together. I want you to have to compromise so you can assuage the concerns of the American people and it isn't chaos and mayhem in the streets. That's what I want. But there's no way that's going to happen. Because after the Democrats refuse to stand up in their defiance against this president that they obviously hate, with Representative Ilhan Omar screaming about how he killed Americans, and along with others from the squad, Trump sat up there and piggybacked right off of his initial statement and then said this when he talked about how they should be ashamed of themselves. Listen to this.
You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Tell me, why in God's name should any Democratic voter out there believe for 1 second that these politicians who represent folks on the left are going to be able to get anything done?
There you go. What he's saying in a different way is what we've said. There is no compromise to be had because they're nuts.
Right.
They're crazy.
They're right now, again, as we predicted, outpacing some within their own party. The radicals are out front going, sorry, you're not on board. You're not on board. You're not on board within their own party. Now, there are some issues that the GOP has within their own party, but it's on the issues. With the Democrats, you're not crazy enough. You're not on board.
We are Red Eye Radio.
Lines open for your calls. 866-90-RED-EYE on Red Eye Radio.
We are Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. All right, perfect example of clickbait. If you were on social media yesterday, you probably saw that announcement from the Tampa airport where they said no Crocs or pajamas. Obviously, It was a joke.
Right.
It was an obvious joke if you read it.
Yeah.
So I saw it early in the day. Then I went to Fox and saw this. Tampa Airport issues pajama ban, triggering social media firestorm over dress code controversy.
It was a joke.
It was a joke. And they don't mention it as a joke till you go through a few paragraphs. Then they mention, oh, yeah, it was just a joke.
Right. Clickbait. Yep.
just drives me crazy.
Well,
It
it seems so many stories are built on social media postings now, and they're not real news. And then you get to the end of it, and it's like, oh, it was just some random person posting something on social media.
Oh yeah, you and I talked about that earlier off the air. You'll sit there and go, social media firestorm, and all of a sudden
it's like 3 people that commented.
Yes, 3 people.
Yeah,
Joe,
that have a total combined following of 12.
Yeah, nobody knows who they are. It's
right.
Like social media outrage. That's become a story.
Yeah.
Out of 340 million people.
Right.
What 3 people thought on social media becomes a national story.
That's it.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.